Hey everyone, welcome to another match of Temur Aggro. Today we are playing Eldrazi Taxes. So starting hand wasn't so good. This hand looks slightly better. Again, we don't know what we're playing yet, so it's good enough. We draw another land. We're gonna cast Mishra's Bauble here and see what we're gonna draw. Lightning Bolt. Yeah, I think a Lightning Bolt is okay. We could use another Lightning Bolt because we don't know what we're playing yet. It could be humans, it could be whatever. It could be Tidehollow Scholar. Tidehollow Scholar, I believe. Not Scholar. That's a different word altogether. Alright, so what do we do here? If we kill Tidehollow Scholar now, we won't get our card back. So we have to let them take whatever they want. In this case, it doesn't really matter because we can just tar fire them end of turn, get our Lightning Bolt back, and whatever. Nothing horrible really happened to us. And subsequently, we now have a 5/6 Tarmogoyf. So can't really complain, but odds are our opponent is playing Path to Exile somewhere. Either way, we're gonna make Tarmogoyf stick early and see what our opponent has to say about that. Ghost Quarter, alright. Eldrazi Displacer comes down. Now we can kill it, and we pretty much have to right now. Don't really have a choice here, because we do not want them to untap with Eldrazi Displacer. It's just going to be hell, and we don't want to deal with it. First, let's draw a card. Looks like I want green and red. Oh, look at that. So we can cast Tarmogoyf here and then Bolt Displacer. We now have two 5/6 Tarmogoyfs on the battlefield, and I don't think it's looking very good for our opponent. Now it all depends on what's coming down next turn, obviously, but if nothing significant happens here, we are going to be hitting them for 10 damage. Well, I guess that's a significant thing. Giver of Runes comes down next. Not an issue at the moment. So we can go Traverse for another Tarmogoyf, and at the same time grow our Tarmogoyf to a 6/7. It looks like I missed that line of play. I should have traversed. Really taking the pain here. It looks like I was counting Bedlam Reveler instead. So I'm saying goodbye Delver, and instead give me more Gaz. That's fair. We do have lethal on the board, in fact. So Giver of Runes alone is not going to save our opponent. They need something else. That's okay, but I feel like it's just going to be chumping more than anything else. Temur Battle Rage essentially is going to be game, though. Yeah. So we're going to go through the motions here. Yeah, make our Swift Spear bigger. Yeah, it's true. I forgot. The Lone Arbiter stops us from getting anything from our library, but that's okay because we still made our Swift Spear bigger, which was relevant, which was the main goal, actually, because we're winning here either way. So now we Temur Battle Rage our Bedlam Reveler. And it's game. All right. So Swift game 1. What do we bring in here? Now, we know we're playing Eldrazi Taxes. I think another Temur Prowess Aggro will make sense because we're going to be hitting creatures, opposing creatures that our opponent has. Spell Pierce as well. I was thinking about it, but realistically speaking, not too many non-creature spells that we need to worry about. Our opponent is doing mostly creature-based shenanigans. Alpine Moon would have been another form of attack, but again, I think it might be not sufficient for what our opponent is playing. There are only 2 colors, so they're not greedy enough on their mana. Our opening hand is risky because we're only on 1 land, but we do have Delver and we have Mishra's Bauble. Question here is, do we do Delver or do we do Monastery Swiftspear? I think I do Monastery Swiftspear first, because we can make it relatively big, relatively quickly. I guess Fatal Push is coming down the line. So we'll swing in right now. And I'm assuming our opponent will let that go. Yep. So we draw Tarmogoyf and Metamorphose. Not exactly what we want. If we draw a land next turn, that would be fantastic. As expected, Fatal Push takes out our Swiftspear. That's okay. We draw a land. That's beautiful. So I think Metamorphose into either Tarmogoyf or Delver Secrets, and then killing runes with Tarfire would make more sense. Yeah. There you go. I think that's the correct play. Delver does not flip, unfortunately. But we have a bunch of threats in our hand. We're very threat redundant right now. Now, Giver Runes can block 1, and it's just a stalemate, but we're still going to hit for 1, and that's why I attack with both. It would be really nice to get Delver of Secrets to flip. Looks like our opponent didn't have anything to do. That does not flip our creature either, but it's okay. It's a land. We're going to attack first. See what our opponent does. Path to exile one of our creatures. We'll get an island, most likely. I think it's the only... I could go for a mountain too. Okay, that's fine. Now we're going to take out Giver of Runes before any blocks are declared, just so we can get in. Another Path to Exile. Alright. That's fine. That's actually great, because now we can cast our Tarmogoyfs. I mean, that's the reason why I didn't cast Tarmogoyf first, because I wanted to see if I can bait out some removal first, which I did twice. So now they have to deal with a 5/6 Tarmogoyf, and I strongly doubt they have more Path to Exiles in hand, although it's possible. Vampire Nighthawk is interesting, but off the top, Delver flips with a Lightning Bolt. So, yeah, that's going to be game. Not necessarily this turn, but almost certainly it's next turn. And we got it. So, normally I'm afraid of Eldrazi Taxes. If they get their pieces in play, I mean, it's kind of hell with Displacer and Flicker Wisp. But it looks like our opponent just couldn't launch. We did. We survived 2 Path to Exiles. We survived the Fatal Push in that game too, and we still had a bunch of threats we could deploy. You know, we had Monastery Swiftspear attacking in just as a regular 1/2. Doesn't matter. We pinged them, and at the end of the day, it was enough to take them out. So I was pretty happy with that. Pretty happy to see the older versions of Temur Aggro working pretty well. Next week, you're going to be seeing newer versions of Temur Aggro. which I'm really excited to play and post. So stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. If you enjoy my content in general, please subscribe. It'll mean you get notifications when I upload stuff in the future, and it lets me know that you want to see more as well. Thanks, and have a good one.